welcome to 101 on Lapai TV. I am your host, Abdullahi, and with us today we have Mr. Aliyu N. Abdullahi, who is the coordinator, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lapai chapter, who will be discussing with us about a very prestigious program coming in few days here in Lapai. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
I have actually introduced you a bit. I will want you to reintroduce yourself first for viewers to know who Mr. Ali Abdullah is.
So, with the I'm Aliyu Abdullahi Indeji, the coordinator of National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lapai Local Government Chapter, who double as the chairman of Zone A Coordinators Forum.
It's good to have you with us today on Lapai TV, sir.
My pleasure.
The first youth summit, which is scheduled to hold in a few days, what is the summit all about?
Well, firstly, you see, as a representative of the youth or the head of the youth, we are supposed, or our main aim is to engage youth activities positively, is to bring up ideas that will orient the youth to be also the intermediary between the youth and the government, to be the intermediary between the youth and the community. So this is why we said this have been happening in various locations where we often visit, and then we deem it fit that we have vibrant youth within Lapai, which if we want to come together and do something reasonable, we will do much more better than other community. So this how come about the first youth summit, which we propose to host inshallah on 1st August 2026.
All right, sir. Looking at the theme of the summit, it is titled The Role of Youth in Community Development in Today's Modern Society, which you also have secure our future community forum on political violence and insecurity. How do you intend to engage the youth of Lapai, looking at what you have as the team?
You see, uh, before you come up with a team, you have to know the community you are trying to engage in such kind of a team. Currently now in Lapai local government, uh, why we tend to uh, use the first team, which is the role of youth in today's modern society. Uh, as a youth, you are not expected to be sitting adamant. You are supposed to sit up, not to be sitting, but to sit up and look for something doing. And then we are in modern society today. A lot of people today, you see them with an Android phone, which they will be engaged in social media for hours without having no any benefit of it. And a lot of programs, projects, ICT is the key in today's society. And then how do we engage in it? This is why a lot of people get it wrongly. Some people use internet in a very dynamic way in which all what they are after is to extort from individuals, on which is not the best thing. So that's why we said, okay, let's call on an ICT expert, somebody that is very vibrant in the field, so as to, even if somebody is speaking, you know this is his feed, and then you know what is in there better than you that you're not there. And after assessment, we call on our own one of the most vibrant ICT expert in Niger State, in fact, in Nigeria as a whole, Alhaji Isa Sayu Kantigi, and we sat with him deeply and we said, this is what we have for our youth. And then the only state institution we have, the heart of the old state institute, Ibrahim Bademasi Babangida, it has influence in Lapai youth community, positively and otherwise. Some of them, if they are not being educated in such kind of manners in which they're going to use the ICT in today's modern society, they will end up engaging in social vices, in the sense that Some of them will only go into internet fraudster, which are not supposed. All these are tipping that you will get at just a platter goal of hand, and then you mess up with them. So that is why we deem it that let us call on an expert to come and educate our youth on how to use the internet. Talk about the second team. We are in political arena, and then in a very short period of time, in less than a year, election is coming up. From now to next 6 7 months, election is coming up, and then it is this youth the determining factor of every community success in election period. As such, we can see that today our youths engage in activities, political violences that are not worth it. So this is why we said, okay, let's come up with a very suitable team that is going to speak on aspect of political and then the nature of how we have found ourselves in Nigeria today. Everywhere around now, we have clamoring insecurity, insecurity. How do we deal with them? Some of our youths are the ones that are engaged in all these acts. And there is no how we are going to have an end to it without educating them on what they are supposed to do and what they are not supposed to do. On that note, we went to an agency that are in charge of orientation, which is the NOA, National Orientation Agency. And we speak to them. One of their directors, by the special grace of God, is going to discuss on the second team. Uh, on that, there are a lot of issues that are running around in our political arena today, most especially in Lapai. And if we don't orient the youths on what are they are supposed to be do, what they are supposed to do during the process, they might be used. And immediately after they use them is to dump them. What is causing all this? That is the first thing. If you are sitting at the moment, you don't have any other thing to do. That is when you'll be engaged negatively and you engage into all those kind of vices.
All right, sir. Looking at this summit, like you earlier mentioned, is the first of its kind, and it's going to happen in Lapai. Is this very program open for all categories of individuals, or you have a specific target of audience?
Thank you. You see, when we talk about a community development, this is a general issue, a collective responsibility of every individual, being it the youths, the young, the old, and the child. Traditional rulers, traditional institutions, political institutions, business tycoons, security agencies, everybody. Because when you talk about how to bring up a development in the community, this cannot left alone the community leaders. This cannot be restricted to religious leaders. It cannot be restricted to traditional rulers or whatever. But it has to be a very harmonized collective effort between the youth, most especially with the community leaders in collaboration with security agencies. This is how all this is going to be achieved. We have invited all the security agencies, all the head of security agencies and their men, traditional institutions, religious leaders, voluntary organizations of all kind. We have invited them, including the NYSC. We have invited political leaders, stakeholders across all Lapai, within and outside Lapai territory, because we have some special individuals which we invited to come and discuss on the same team, and they are not from Lapai. So there is an adage that says the eyes in which you see often, sometimes the message pass across from their voice doesn't sound so polite. And this is why we deem it fit to say, okay, let's call on
People from outside.
outside speakers to come and speak to us. Because if these people that if they speak, unlike the first speaker, Alhaji Sasalu Kantigi, we know is a lover of development, most especially uh, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida University, right? Is someone who have passion for the institution. As such, there is no how you have passion for an institution and you will not have passion for its host community.
All right, sir. Let's take a look at beyond coming to speak. We've witnessed instances where a lot of people have been gathered. They've been spoken to, they've had people from coming even outside the state to come and speak with them, and it's not just working the way we feel it should be. So, what plan do you have for the youth of Lapai after the summit?
Thank you. This will bring up to how we assume office and then where we are today. We assume office, we are inaugurated on 12th February 2025. And since then, we inherited, let me say it, nothing. We met a very flow scratch. We started from scratch. Nothing was within the organization. And the organization is just a volunteer organization in which it has no any source of revenue. And there is no how you pilot any affairs of any organization without funds. So, and we said, okay, what do we do to have a different dimension as a new leadership? That is why, firstly, we engage into visitations, familiarization visits. We engage traditional rulers. We started with the Emir of Lapai, His Royal Highness Alhaji Umaru Bagutafida, which he will welcome us warmly. We engage religious leaders, traditional institutions, and most especially security agencies. We are in collaboration with them. And then this organization is an organization that houses all other uniform volunteer organizations. Volunteer organization in Lapai are not that they don't as in kind of
They don't have that,
harmonize
yes, they don't have the
into it. Yes,
relationships
the
within them,
relationship
or
is
they are
not
not
that
just
cordial.
bonded together.
Yes, the relationship is not that cordial. So I invited all the head of the Uniform Volunteer Organization. We speak to ourselves as I'm also a member of Uniform Volunteer Organization, precisely the Red Cross. We speak to ourselves. This is what we are liking, unlike other communities that have united themselves. This is how we could be able to come in for our community. And then, alhamdulillah, as God may have it, we're able to have uh, a soft landing in collaboration. There and then, we engage into two different successful sanitation exercises. The first one was in collaboration with NYSC, and then we engage environmental officers as such. We were able to cover from the Lapai local government secretariat down to Lapai Central Market. And then the second one, which I make it much more broader, and then we engage all uniform volunteer organizations, security agencies, and some voluntary personnel, which we engage from Lapai Town Hall down to Efu Alaji up to Emir Palace. We round up in Emir Palace. There and then the Emir was unavoidably absent, but the representative also appreciated the gesture. That is why Honorable Abdullahi Umar Evuti, when he come up with issue of sanitation exercise, the committee that was set up when they visited the His Royal Highness, they make a recommendation of our services. This is why it will also show us that the our services is being felt positively.
Uh,
And then finally, we are able to engage in 2 to 3 different aspects. One was scholarship to IBB University students, no less than 23 students benefited scholarship from us. Why we didn't pronounce it is that individuals that assisted in financing them shows that they did it willingly and they don't want it to be publicized. We engage in some of the cases that are involve youth, which are security wisely and are not meant to be pronounced. This is how we have come to. This is the little we are able to come up with. We have a lot of ideas on our table as
all right,
well.
sir. Looking at the financial implication of the entire, you made mention of the fact that no any organization will be able to move without finances. What has been your organization or your office relationship with the local government council with regards to your activities and the forthcoming summit?
You see, the organization, Youth Council, has been very cordial with the council because the local government chairman, Honorable Abdullahi Umar Ewuti, sincerely speaking, he has been engaging us in a lot of youth activities. Anything that we have to engage in youth activities, unlike the assessment that we just happened a few days back, Youth Council was actively engaged. And even this youth summit, in fact, is one of our co-sponsors. I must use this avenue to say a very big thank you to him because he has been doing wonderful well. As a youth, we are proud of him because when you say the youth are the leaders of tomorrow, and then those people that are having privilege of representing us are not doing the right thing, think he's not going to speak well of us. And kudos to him. I think within the all 25 local government area we have in Niger State, no chairman has been able to lay down something reasonable from scratch to completion of project, unlike Honorable Abdullahi Umar.
All right, thank you very much for that. If you are just joining us, this is 1 on Lapai TV, where we're discussing with Mr. Aliyu and Abdullahi, who is the coordinator, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Lapai Local Government Chapter. Just before we go, sir, what's your call to the youth of Lapai with regards to this very forthcoming summit?
Firstly, there is a saying that says, if you are not informed, you will be deformed. And nobody is an island. As such, uh, we invite and we urge all the youths of Lapai local government, the student of the heart of the state institution, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida University Lapai, to come on one and come all to host the program. And then this is a call to all the critical stakeholders, political leaders, religious leaders, traditional institutions, that Lapai is our home and we cannot leave our home for any other. We must build it. We are inviting all relevant stakeholders to come home and invest in Lapai community. Because if we take our investment outside, it's affecting us negatively here. If you have a company, you plant it in Mina or elsewhere, youths that are here will not benefit from it. But if you plant a company here in Lapai, we have fertile land. Lapai local government is the largest in landmark in the whole of 25 local government area. We have enough land. Come and home and invest so that our youth will be engaged, and we that will lead to limitation of all these vices, insecurity. It is when you don't have anything doing that you think of something negatively. So this is a call to the general public.
All
Thank
right,
you.
sir. Thank you very much for that. We sincerely appreciate your time, and we hope whenever you invite you for programs or discussions such as this, your doors will be wide open for us.
Those
And
are
now
the
we've
words.
come to the end of our program today on 101 on Lakai TV. I am Ali Abdullahi Kurais. See you some other time.